Hey,
Ah,
reviews!
back in here, yo.
And we just got back from watching Assassination
Nation.
Nation. Wow.
Movie crazy, yo.
So, from the trailers, it already looks like it's going to be kind of bloody, right?
Yeah.
A little purgy-ish.
Yes.
That's probably not real world, but I just made it up.
Purgy-ish.
Purgy-ish.
New world. Use it in your life.
That's right. Update Webster's. So, right off the bat, I think the cast does a good job portraying high school students.
Yes.
Just like a lot of films today, right? They kind of show there's a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, substance abuse, yada
You've
yada
seen
yada.
a bunch of like comedies where they go out there drinking, they're partying, they're having sex or trying to have sex.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I mean, this is no different. It's just the talk. I guess they change it to more vulgar-ish.
The way
I guess you would say.
I would say the way it's different is like, even though some of the scenes are kind of a little more vulgar, I would say they're probably more on par. Like,
yeah.
there's like stuff going on, like, oh, someone's looking at you, and then there's people creeping away at a party, and then they resurface later on, and then they have that shameful act that took place, but only them and the other person know at school, and yada yada yada. So, and then of course from the trailers, this whole film stems from the fact that somebody gets the bright idea to start hacking people of the town and then release the information out.
Yes.
Now, they never really say in the film how
they're getting the
how they're getting not how they're getting the information, but like what portal they're using that all these people also go to, right? Like where are they putting all these things? Because there's a couple different times in the film where they show people clicking on like what it says, like a person's name, and then like there's a download link and it's a zip file to all this stuff. And whatever it is, I don't know how this person has everyone's email or whatever. I'm guessing they're either emailing them or posting it up on a site.
I think the original one, I guess they found it through the school one, or it was like it popped up. Like, I think it's just a few people that have it, and then they just share it to everybody.
Yeah, I think this person is just putting it out, and then kind of like what everything does, right? Word of mouth and things spread and yada yada yada. So that's what this film technically is kind of focusing on, is what happens when a town's dirt gets out
for everybody.
And for everybody.
So everyone's emails, texts, pictures, all of
everything.
It's out there for open.
Whatever they're saving off in the cloud, whatever you've been saving on your phone. Just all kinds of stuff like that, getting basically exposed. Text conversations, voicemails,
basically anything.
Anything used on your phone or your computer.
Your porn search history, all of it.
Everything. And this film kind of goes into obviously a very fantasized, if you will, or over the top version of what potentially could happen in a small town.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm thinking people are going to go crazy, so I don't know how far off that might actually be.
It may not be that far-fetched,
yeah,
right?
like, if everyone's stuff comes out, like, it's gonna start small, and it's going to be small instances or things that happen, and it's just going to snowball because people are going to get madder, and they might not have anything to direct it toward. So they're just going to keep getting mad at just random people or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it's just to be a snowball effect where the whole town is just angry.
And 100% our disclaimer on this film is that it's not for everybody, 100% for sure.
Yes.
It's rated R, obviously, number one.
And they kind of tell you in disclaimer, like right from the beginning.
You will be triggered if any of this is offensive to you.
Yes.
So they try to tell you right off the bat, hey, if you're sitting down and you're about to watch this movie, if any of these, ding, 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 and it keeps showing all these different images and like hashtag of the phrases of what it represents. If any of those things trigger you, walk out now before you watch the rest of this film.
Yeah, because it's going to happen in the movie.
Yep. And it does.
And actually, when they show the flashes, they show those pictures that like it happens later on too, like little scenes.
Yeah, there's like short little clips of what it is, and you're just like,
you might not fully understand it later on when you watch the movie. Like there it is.
Oh,
that's it. That's what you see.
Yeah, it's not one of those things where they're just saying like this might be in the film or these are examples. It's like this is in the movie. This is gonna happen. And it does a good job actually not giving away stuff later on too. So, overall rating, what would you give this one?
Overall rating of 3.5.
3.5. Okay. I too am going to give this a 3.5. Ka-ching! And stamp it.
Yeah.
Almost a 4 for me, to be honest with you. It gets a little preachy towards the end with the message. I know they're going for. It's like an overall woman empowerment film
Yeah.
at its root, really.
I mean, because all the main characters
are female. So
well,
nothing wrong with that. Just that it does get a little bit much towards the end.
Yeah.
But that's okay though. Overall, still good. Still really liked it. Do we think it's something you should watch in a theater? Like, you have to see this in the theater?
It's
kind of, sort of. I'm not saying you have to. It's a good watch in the theater.
Yeah, but it's on the fence where it's like, I mean, you can go see it.
It's one of those films like if you gather up the homies or you go with all your buddies and you're like sitting there like because it gets pretty intense during some of the scenes. You'll be like, dude, did you see that? Oh my gosh, right? Or like, hey man, what the heck? What's going on in this movie?
What's going on? You know, like, what does it do with it? Oh, like, that's dirty.
Snap. You know, there's like a bunch of different moments like that in the film, so it could be a good friend film to go watch if you guys are into seeing plots being told in non-conventional ways.
Yes.
That's the best way for me to describe it without giving away spoilers yet. But it's definitely told in a non-conventional manner, which in my opinion was good. I can't think of moments that I thought were like slow, where I'm like, man, this scene is dragging. Nope. It was basically like, here's a story. Here's what's happening. Here's more of what's happening. Here's more of what's happening. Escalation. Ah! So it was good.
Yeah.
Now, spoiler time.
Spoilers in your face.
All right.
So Wolverine was there.
Wolverine shows up.
He shows up.
And Kakashi.
Assassins.
I don't know how they got
everywhere. Yep.
Everywhere. There's death, murder.
When they said assassin,
nation.
He wasn't playing.
Actually, that would be a dope crossover because they do have like an anime version of Wolverine, so that'd be cool to see them both there together. But anyway, man, where to start? Where to start with spoilers on this?
From the beginning.
Yeah,
the principal gets hacked. So it starts off the normal girls.
Mayor.
The mayor. That's what mayor gets hacked. The mayor gets hacked,
which is the most ridiculous one in the beginning, in my opinion.
Because he's basically against. Gay, lesbian, trans.
The most to hide, basically.
Yeah, he's against all of that. He's doing legislation against it. He doesn't like it. And then he gets hacked. And he's cross-dressing and looking for guys online to basically meet up.
Him.
Yeah.
And choke him.
And do all kinds of other stuff.
Be his daddy.
And you're just and then they're basically going, so how much of a hypocrite are you? Because you're basically going against, in public, what you basically are in private.
And as this part is typical Hollywood, though. Most people in those type of positions, in positions of power, when they're facing all this type of turmoil, they're only out as suicide, and that's what we see. He's in the hallway, and he's like, "What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?" And he gets ready to address everybody, but then he's like, "Here's a gun. Don't worry, everyone. I'm not gonna hurt you." Bam! And then literally you see blood splatter and hit the camera and everything. Yeah. You're like, oh, wow.
And it's on live TV. So then there's video on YouTube.
Yep. And then
the mayor killing himself.
They do a quick cut scene, and it's all these different social media outlets just getting blown up with comments and all these different type of things, and real hateful stuff. Very, very minimal sympathy posts, but a lot of hateful things. And then there's flashes to the next day of our protagonists are Lily and her friends, and they're all just going about their business, and they're kind of talking about it, and she has some
sympathy for her.
Yeah, she's like, you should still be able to give this guy some empathy because at the end of the day he still had a family, a life, yada yada yada, right? But then one of the girls is like, no, I don't give him any sympathy. It's all you. And then
because basically it's I'm trans, so why are you not you're fighting what I am? You are basically part of me, so I don't have sympathy for you because you're basically making it harder for me.
Yep. And then that character, he even goes on to say well, if I killed myself, this guy wouldn't lose any sleep over it. So who cares, right? And then so they just kind of mention again that you should have empathy for people in general, even if that person can't see it from your point of view initially. And then they roll right into the principal gets hacked.
Yes. Even though her and the principal had a weird conversation.
Which was almost about kind of what he ends up getting persecuted for.
Yes.
Right? Is that, like, people in general, like, is the photo sexual, or do you, as the viewer of the photo, sexualize the photo?
Because she draws basically a nude photo of a woman with her legs open, basically like a porn prose is what the principal called it.
Yeah.
And she's like, is it that? Because that's what you want it to be?
Or is it an image reflecting a girl who has tried to get the right angles so her nipple doesn't look too low or too high, or, you know, all these different...
So she can look beautiful, and then basically she does it, and then finds some guy basically calls her disgusting or gross.
And then all of a sudden all her self-esteem is torn right back down, right? So then, like, the very next day, he's hacked, and then all of a sudden it's in his images. He had a old photo of when his daughter was like 6
in
like
bathroom,
bathing,
and
apparently that makes him a pedophile
because he has a naked picture of his daughter, and they're like, why does he have a naked picture of his daughter?
And they tie that to his porn search history, which is about young girls.
And they figured, he likes young girls. He has a naked picture of his daughter. He must be a pedophile, and he must be molesting her.
And he's a monster.
He's a monster. We have no proof that he's doing this.
Yep.
But because we're putting 2 and 2 together, he has to be molesting her.
Yep. He just has to be doing this, and no one's ever caught him.
Yeah.
So, of course, they want him to resign and everything else. And it's interesting because he's coming down the same hallway that the mayor was down. I guess they hold the press conferences all in the same place or whatever.
Yeah.
So
and he's just like, they're like, okay, just say like how much you love teaching and resign. And he's like, I love teaching. This is why I got into it. I ain't resigning. So.
Yep. And he's like, I'm here for my community.
Yeah.
We can get through this together. And everyone's like, boo, boo, get off the stage.
They spitting on him. And the dude goes to his house, breaks it open. There's like a little door window.
Oh, it's bad. Bad. All around bad. And then people are talking about him as well. And during all this, right, our 4 main characters, they're all like partying still. They kind of have their own little bit of drama you see. And then the girl she's been texting
this guy
who she calls Daddy.
Yeah.
Which I suspected early on. I'm like,
older,
is this dude? They show in the very beginning, right? Because when she stops outside the house, she just stops by and she's like, hi, and you're like, wait, is this her family? And then later on you see her family, so you're like, okay, well, who is that couple that she stopped in front of before and they're talking to the kids? And I'm like, I think this other dude is like Daddy, who she's texting. Turns out, correct. Ding, 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 ding.
And the reason why she talked to the family is because she was to babysit the kids.
Yes.
That's how she met them.
Yeah.
She was the babysitter.
Yeah, so she was babysitting the daughter. The father, the guy who plays Daddy, his name is Joel McHale. I believe his actual name in the film is Nick.
Yeah.
But they're texting back and forth, and she's sending him like all kinds of news.
And you find out when it comes out that like she has all like why she that drawing and talks about it because she really is taking all these photos for him to get the one right.
Yep. So what she shares with the principal is technically a reflection of herself.
Yes.
And then she mentions that later on in the film too, where they're talking about her boyfriend, right? Yeah. She's like, oh, he's the first one to say I'm smart, I'm pretty, and this and that and all the other. But he's also the first person I ever wanted to hurt because of what he said to me. And I was like, oh man, that's pretty crazy. Like, so you see her kind of display her whole range of emotions from a female's perspective of where she goes on these highs and lows of self-confidence to not being confident to not knowing if she, feels valued to then feeling valued to then wanting to be able to express herself with someone else and then there being no one there for that outlet, and all of a sudden the first person that shows up, she starts talking to them and gets kind of attached to them. Yes. Maybe not in the same way that guy is, but she's attached to them, right? And she feels like she needs to have their conversation, basically. She needs to have a link, some type of connection with them. So it progresses, and there's more, and then the entire town gets leaked.
Yes.
And Nick happens to be one of the guys that gets leaked, which was weird because, huge spoiler alert, her brother's the one that did it. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up now is because there's a scene just before this all happens where the hacker pops up in her chat window and is telling her, oh, you slut, you whore, da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, suck mine, oh. And, she's just blowing him off.
Yeah.
And
it's basically probably because he hacked the dude, and he probably saw all her pictures and was like, "That my sister? All right, well, it's about to come down for you." So,
or even more direct, just hacked her first and was like, "Man, my sister's a hoe," because he didn't like seeing probably all the pictures she had on herself. Not saying that just because you're a female or whoever and you have pictures on your laptop doesn't make you a hoe or whore. Just saying. That's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah. So he did, but he didn't hack her though. He never actually hacked his sister.
Well, they don't ever show it, but it's safe to say that he could have, right?
He could have.
He literally hacks the entire town.
Yeah, he hacks the town, but he doesn't hack his sister.
Because think about it.
He doesn't hack his
parents. Why would he call her that?
Well, yeah,
if he didn't know. You know
but
what
I think he might have hacked the dude and saw her pictures.
Oh yeah, well,
because he did hack him. He did hack the guy.
How would he know it was her though? Unless I guess he spotted her by her birthmark.
I mean, I guess he knows. I mean, he knows his sister, I guess, enough so that that's her. So he's like, okay, she's gonna basically, I'm gonna release his stuff. So it's gonna be coming down the pipe for you eventually.
And then it gets out that the entire, basically half of the town has been hacked at this point. And no one is happy about that because all kinds of secrets are out there.
I mean, everything. I mean, full text threads, emails,
conversations,
search histories,
the whole nine. And everyone's talking stuff about this. And then somebody leaked out somebody else's nudes. And then they figure out, oh, this person is responsible for putting that out there.
She got pissed.
And she gets revenge and she hits that girl with a baseball bat. But later on, they show that they actually attack her for getting her own revenge.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
And then you'll see like soccer moms at like the grocery store parking lot go at it because they find out like
affairs have taken place.
Affairs is taking place, so now they're fighting in the parking lot.
Their husbands' privates have been in their mouth.
Yeah. So now you're seeing stuff like that go down, where it's like the town's just slowly losing it.
Yeah.
It was like like the change in a week for it's been out, so now everyone knows where like people are jogging on the street with face masks because. They just don't want to be recognized. They don't be recognized for who I am and what I've done. So for me to do something in peace, I have to have a weird mask that distorts my face.
Oh man, and then that one crazy part too, where so she's initially comes out as being like the girl that's linked to this because her boyfriend exposes her. Like no one actually knows it's her initially because she's technically kind of smart and she doesn't actually have shots of her actual face, so no one can actually match her up except her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend decides like, hey, you know what? That's humiliating to me because you technically have been cheating on me.
He recognizes a mole in one of the pictures and goes, "Wait, I recognize that mole. I think or birthmark.
Yeah,
my girlfriend has the same birthmark on her back, but I gotta make sure."
And then don't know why, but I guess he just kind of feels like he was being cheated on, I guess, or something like that.
Well, I mean. He assumes.
Like his motive, right?
Because you don't know.
He's thinking that if she sends all this stuff out to this dude, she's got to be doing stuff with him.
Yeah.
And it come to find out,
they never actually did.
She reveals later on they never did anything.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too, that they were actually having sex.
Yeah.
And even by the text message, it seemed like they were having sex.
Yeah.
But they've never actually done anything. It was just all photos.
Yep.
And that's when you come out later on and you're like, oh, they actually did anything? And then they basically live across the street from each other.
Yep, and they were never doing anything sexual, which is crazy. And I guess the boyfriend's only recourse, the thing he can think of, is I'm just gonna tell everyone what she did because she embarrassed me. And that makes you think for a second, like in that scenario, who's actually embarrassed? Is it the simple fact that her photos got out? So wouldn't she be the one that's embarrassed?
But he feels like he's embarrassed because she was cheating on me, and now everybody know that she was cheating on me, so I look stupid. So he gets two of his friends. I thought it was really weird that he has two of his friends to basically hold her down.
So they can look, because he's already thinking, oh, she's not going to want to show me, so I'm going to have these guys hold her down if she doesn't want to, and then we're going to look at that birthmark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a total invasion of privacy.
It was like, yeah, it was such
borderline rape going on there too.
Yeah, I was like,
so that takes place, and then she gets outed, and then that's when things really escalate. Like her parents disown her, and she's trying to walk away, and some guy on the street, they're just
recognizes her.
Yeah, and then that's kind of like the weird thing that you kind of see in movies which kind of dictates real life, right? Like someone says, like, oh, this person is doing this thing, they must be this type of way.
Yeah.
So this guy takes it like a step further and was like, oh, she's posting nude photos. like she must be a whore.
Yeah, because I've seen her.
No one's gonna want her.
Yeah, everything's online. If they basically search you later on in life, they're see all this. No one's gonna want to be with you. So you might as well just give me something now because this is the best you can get.
Yeah, and then he jumps out of the car and like has a knife and is like, I'm gonna rape her. And I'm like, whoa, that escalated rather quickly.
And he's recording it like the whole time.
As he's chasing her and she's hiding and bow! Hits him with a shovel in the face, and I was like, damn! Like I kind of felt it was coming. Yeah. I'm like, she's gonna be hiding somewhere. She's gonna hit this dude. I didn't know she was gonna hit him in the face with the shovel and bust up all his stuff.
And she was about to finish it, and then she saw that little kid there with the toe, like
big old.
And she's like, I'm not gonna kill this dude in front of this kid right now.
And it was crazy because, like I said, like his level, like he escalated his level of interest and like his depravity of what he wanted to do, like really fast, really, really quick. And then that kind of is I don't want to say a jump off point, but it almost is as far as like what the town does. Like the town escalates super quick.
Because it starts off with that, and they're looking for whoever did it. So they're still sort of not fully crazy, but then they're looking for who's the person that did this. And they basically have an idea, well, this guy had a weird interview with the cop, and it seemed like that he might have done it because the way he's talking to the cops, like, oh, I like that it happened, and he basically was like, I support them.
I support their message, what Anonymous has done.
Yeah, and then maybe you guys shouldn't be, basically trying to find whoever did it because they might just leak
all your stuff. And that's kind of what happens.
It sounds like a threat, and then it feels like a threat, but then they basically let him go. But then a transcript of what happened lets out, which I feel like the cop let it out.
Oh, they 100%
Yeah, like the cop let it out to the town and be
100%.
like, hey, this kid probably knows what it is, but I can't touch him, so...
And then so they go try to be vigilante style, and they're like gonna get revenge because they think it's this kid. And then for whatever reason, he gives up the name of Lily, our main character, saying like it's her idea, she did all this. But if people would have just stopped and thought about it for a second, why would she leave?
Well, he did have a good reason why he said her. He said her because so much data use was coming out of their house.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
There was a bunch of data use coming out the house. So she basically was like, okay, that has to be him. That has to be her because, all the scandals around her and she's using a bunch of data. She probably did it. And maybe he's thinking she leaked her stuff so it will throw people off, maybe? I don't know. But that's kind of hard to say, the fact that why would you, even if you're doing this, why would you leak?
And during this confession, even one of her friends say, like, people can't believe this, right? Like, they don't even have any proof. They're not even confirming what he's saying is true.
But you didn't do it though, right?
But, yeah, and her friends seem very skeptical, like, but did you do this? I mean...
Like I suddenly hear one time you say no, okay, now we're cool. And then, like, the whole group of people came in, like, assassin style, trying to get them.
They did. They did. Okay, and shouts out to M, the character M. Her mom goes to work.
She literally went on a kill streak, yo.
She looks like she's just like a stoner mom because she technically is one of the women that gets outed for doing stuff with another dude as well. But like in the scene leading up to it, she's sitting in her room getting smoked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like they finally come in and you hear something wrong, and you're like, okay, cool. Like they're kidnapping the girls and they're like doing stuff and tying them up, and then all of a sudden you come out door, BOW! You're like, ooh.
Black and pink revolver.
Yes. And then she kills one dude, headshot. Watch the next dude, BOW! Headshot.
Bap, bap.
She's not playing, yo.
She was like, y'all ain't gonna take my baby? And she kind of gets shot and killed. But that's okay.
She got shot a couple times. She got shot and then she went down. And then she was like, I ain't going out like no punk!
Exactly.
And then they said, yes, you is.
And then it kind of fast forwards into a whirlwind without going over every single thing because this video was super long. But we kind of fast forward and like Joe McHale, like his character Nick, ends up trying to, I don't know what his idea was behind this, but I guess he figures like he can finally get with her,
then kill her. I think
kill her maybe.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
It totally looks like he killed his wife and daughter in the bathtub.
I think he killed. I don't know if it was the daughter was. I know the wife was.
The one on top was like she was small.
Oh, I didn't. I saw
like,
one body.
If you notice, like it was playing like whatever her little like music was playing in there, and they had like Princess and all the lights were on in there, and I was like, it's really odd that he would take her to his daughter's room.
Yeah. Well, because remember, she calls him Daddy.
Daddy issues.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
And
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So anyways,
basically, there's people dead in the actual tub, and they go into the thing.
She freaks out, and then she like, I don't know. I guess this goes to her ingenuity. She makes a makeshift shank. She takes a razor, kind of cuts her fingers like a little bit, but jams it into a bar of soap, and then Joe McHale tries to get her, and then she's like, and he's just just bleeding all over her.
There was already a bunch of blood already in the scene
from the two people he killed,
and then he's just bleeding everywhere.
Just bleeding out. And I'll be honest with you, it actually wasn't an unrealistic amount. It was actually a very realistic amount of blood the way it was coming out. I was just like, oh, man.
Oh, what?
I was like, close your mouth.
I was laying there like,
just dropping all over. It was crazy.
It's like, oh, man.
But then she magically gets cleaned up.
Well, no, she cleans herself up. So they have a thing where
she's like way too clean for blood, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Well, she changes.
But it's a movie. Anyways.
She puts her jacket back on and she wipes her face off.
And there's still a little bit of blood on her outfit. But anyway, she goes out to the living room. And then this dude has like this Deadpool starter kit is what I call it, okay? Because it's 2 swords crossed and a bunch of automatic weapons
and, then like
a shotgun.
Yeah, and like an assault rifle. And just like.
And I was like,
he was ready to go to war after he killed her. He's about to go to the streets like, purge is happening, yo.
Deadpool starter kit for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, she uses this to help free her friends, and then it comes up with a big old standoff scene towards the end, and then there's like
football team, and
and then there's like an empowerment message that's kind of put towards the end of like women are told that they need to be this, that, and the other, but then don't do this, that, and the other. So good theme overall.
Yeah.
Very intense, very climactic towards the end, where and you kind of get to an end result, and then that's where we get the brother is the one that did it all. Yeah. So that's why there was high data traffic coming from her house, because it was the brother, not necessarily her. I thought it was because she was uploading so many nudes. I was like, she's uploading way too many nudes. That's why everyone thinks it's her. But it's because it was her brother.
The brother was actually one hacking
everything and grabbing
because he was weird, and you could tell like earlier they're talking about stuff, and you're just like, dude, the brother is so weird.
And then when they asked the brother why he did it, he said it was for the laws.
This is funny, yo. That's why I did it. He's going to prison for life because he thought the town losing it was funny. And he did it with no... I mean, the whole time he's there is no emotion. They were kind of like, why'd you do it? I mean, for the lulz, man. Like there's no remorse on him. There's no...
Like, why else would I do it?
Like, there's no feeling bad.
Like, it should be obvious to people that he did it because that was funny.
Yeah, like, there was no... He's like, he would do it again in a heartbeat. Like, he enjoyed every minute of the town losing it.
Like, you know, if they were to ask him the question, would you do it all over again? I'm sure he'd say yes.
Yeah.
So.
He'd probably just change it so he doesn't get caught.
Right? So, that brings our review of Assassination Nation to a conclusion.
Yes.
Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Again, we appreciate all the love out there that we've been getting. Thank you for everyone internationally, locally, different states, all over the world. Appreciate you.
Share it to everybody.
Share it out.
Share it.
Thank you. And we'll be back again with some more wonderful reviews on AI Reviews.
Yes.
And we're out. Peace.